shared with you this morning, I actually mean 11 hacks. Here is a list of those hacks. So number one, in summary, is action drives insight. We want to create actionable data to drive and lead our transformation. We want to be asking how many right answers and thinking experimentally about how many different solutions there might be. We want to be mindful of our language, not just in the words, but across visual, across physical, across energy, and make it positive. We want to connect to purpose in order for us to connect to human. We want to design and deliver to the 16.5 because we are after the tipping point. When we're humanizing transformation and we are applying and focusing and prioritizing the human, it's the tipping point we're after, not the 100%, because 100% will come from the tipping point. We also want to role model rather than practice. And, you know, I think for me, this is a really, really important one, because it's so easy for us to fall into being a practitioner in whatever capacity we are, whether we're a trainer, a facilitator, a project manager, a designer, a product designer, a business development manager. It doesn't really matter. But if we can see ourselves as a role model, a modern leader and role model, before we see ourselves as a practitioner, then that's a really, really cool way of humanizing transformation, because it will incite followership. And number 7, the transparency hack. It's about doing, not done, or wanting to do. So thinking about that, bringing the present moment into how you're being transparent about what you're doing. Hack number 8, be a truth seeker and keep in check with yourself as well. You know, be critical in terms of your own questioning. So question yourself, is this truth and fact, or is this my own perception and reality? Hack number 9, micro moments. Just bring those micro moments into what you're doing. But, you know, if you've got an innovation lab over there and you've got everybody else over here, that's not going to humanize. It's not going to connect them. There's no sense of belonging. Micro moments will bring a sense of belonging. And hack number 10, socialize in 3s. Socialize to the power of 3. Don't just share, teach. Don't just teach, coach. Think about that and make sure that you've got all 3 of those in order to socialize your transformation and humanize it. And finally, adopt a pilot's mindset. You know, think about how are we navigating back on course to our moonshot all the time. You'll have people around you that have got their heads in the weeds, but us as transformational leaders need to be thinking, are we on course here? And take the pilot's mindset and assume that you're off course in order to navigate on course 95% of the time. It will keep you connected to the moonshot. And before I open up today to a wee bit of Q&A, and Vivian, I hope you've got that first question ready and waiting. What I want to do is I just want to summarize a few additional hacks on top of what we've already talked about, because to be fair, everything that we've talked about in previous weekly roundtables are hacks in and of themselves. So bonus hacks, design for community. So apply community design principles to our transformation and our change journeys at the start, because culture will follow. Culture is complex. Culture takes time to change. Culture self-evolves. Even if we influence and force culture through values, we still can't actually control it. So if we can design transformation and change based on community principles, the culture will follow. The second hack that we've talked about, of course, is there is no one single leadership profile. There are actually 4 types. So we don't want to conform everybody to one profile type. We want all 4 of them in order for us to get that momentum around the innovation curve, the bell curve of innovation. And whatever we're doing, whatever project or program we're working on, whether it's technical or structural or strategic or operational, it doesn't matter. It's designing for the human across the entire journey, not just for technology. Super, super important. Of course, we talked about Maya in that instance. So banana skins today, only 2. 2 banana skins to be mindful of that we don't want to slip up on based on those hacks that I've shared with you today. Banana skin number 1, lack of consistency. Every single hack that I've shared with you today is not an on-off switch. It's not a thing to do and then you've done it and off with life until the next time you need it. Every single hack that you've heard today is something that is behavioral and something that can be habitual. And the second thing for a banana skin is don't fall into the separation curve. Don't fall into the trap of thinking it's them and us. It's you and me. We are all humans within this. Don't fall into that separation curse. So